Also planning to go in for new technologies, new methods of packing, using new raw material.
Thank you, Mr. Rahman and Captain B.R. Vijayendra for joining us in the show. With this, we come to the end of this episode. I will be back next week with the success stories of few other SMEs. Till then, goodbye and take care.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sunaina Jain, welcoming you to this Red Letter event. To put this evening into a perspective and deliver the official welcome address, I now invite President and Managing Director, Dun & Bradstreet, India, Mr. Kaushal Sampath.
The government has set an infrastructure target, or infrastructure investment target of rupees 25 trillion over a period of 3 years, which will include 8 trillion for developing 27 industrial clusters, and additional 5 trillion for developing road, railway and port connectivity projects. That's an incredible amount of money. You will be delighted to know that the number of stalled infrastructure projects has also declined substantially over the past 2 years. This is primarily because many bottlenecks facing infrastructure and energy-intensive industrial projects have been removed by the NDA government. If the efforts of the NDA government are anything to go by in the first 2.5 years, we will have significantly reduced the deficit in the infrastructure space over the next 5 years. Thank you.
India has taken a lead in harnessing renewable energies. Renewable energy is at the heart of climate change. Encouraging to see DNB include renewable energies in an infrastructure conference. So the reality is the world has woken up. People are beginning to understand if you do not go green, there is no point doing anything else. Load sharing and electrical storage. This is not the future. These are things of now. Environment protection and energy security need not be the reason to go for renewable alone. Renewable makes a lot of economic sense today. With solar bids going down to 4 rupees 34 paisa at levelized cost, I think it is the cheapest form of new power that one can install somewhere in a country like India. Elon Musk, who's I think everybody's hero these days, co-founder of Tesla Motors, chairman of Solar City, he says you can either watch it happen or be a part of it. I am very proud to say that I feel I am a part of it. Thank you for listening.
One of the things which plagues the industry and as a whole is delays, chronic delays. Projects which are scheduled for 2 years go for 5 years, and projects scheduled for 4 years go on to 9 years and stuff like that. Half the time I think we all know that the projects get delayed because the client is really not interested in seeing the finished project. But we are seeing a whole lot of change, and so what I want to share is this kind of a new spirit. This new spirit of aggressive project completion, which is happening across India, and it's a wonderful sign of wonderful things to come.
We all say India has been on the threshold of an infrastructure boom, and this is necessary. Without it, our manufacturing, our services can't really prosper. There is a targeted investment of a number which 25 trillion or 25 lakh crores over the next 3 years. These numbers are huge, but we need to make it happen. But the infrastructure sector has been plagued, and Mr. Sampath made a reference to it, that it is plagued by delays, it is plagued by infinite number of projects which do not really get ever completed, and the cost, if it is 15,000 crores, this is some data, but I think it's a gross underestimate of the cost we as a nation pay for the delays. The sector faces challenge in terms of safety, on-site, faces factors as we talked earlier on environment, So we need to build an infrastructure with safety, strength and speed. We appeal to all of you that when you think of construction, use construction techniques that reduce the site time to the minimum. Let's build India with safety, strength and speed. Thank you, gentlemen.
हमारा कमिटमेंट है सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट तभी होगा एक पूंजीपति है उसमें हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है एक गरीब है उसके बीच में अंतर हम कैसे कम कर सके हमारी आइडियोलॉजी दीनदयाल उपाध्याय जी के विचार पर चलती है और उनके विचार ये थे कि देश का विकास हो सही ढंग से हो गांव की सोच होनी चाहिए किसान की सोच होनी चाहिए गरीब की सोच होनी चाहिए इसलिए आवर गवर्नमेंट इज प्रो फार्मर्स प्रो पुअर्स बट उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम पूंजीपति के खिलाफ है इंडस्ट्रीज के खिलाफ है वी आर इंडस्ट्रीज फ्रेंडली गवर्नमेंट हम इंडस्ट्रीज को भी बचाना चाहते हैं और इसलिए लास्ट 2 साल से आपने देखा होगा इंडिया बदल रहा है विकास हो रहा है डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है एंड आप जब लोग काम कर रहे हैं मैंने देखा कि पावर सेक्टर पोर्ट सेक्टर रोड सेक्टर मैं आपको बता रहा हूं मुझे लग रहा है कि विश्व में जो ही इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो ये हो लेकिन 25 साल तक तो मुझे लगता है कि हमारे यहां ही इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटी है उसके लिए जो ही करना पड़े वो करने के लिए हम सब लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं उसमें आप सब लोगों का हमें सहयोग मिल रहा है इसलिए आप सब लोगों को धन्यवाद वंदे मातरम
I'd also like to call upon Mr. Sunil Jain, CEO, Hero Future Energies Limited, to please join our dignitaries for this task. For the formal launch of India's leading infrastructure companies 2016.
आठ नवंबर 2016 की रात्रि को 12 बजे से 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे
The current move to demonetize is an excellent idea and I'm glad the government has done that. This will reduce corruption. The corruption money will have to be surrendered, explained where it came from.
This move will definitely bring about a whole amount of transition to no cash or low cash kind of transactions.
What's the news on the factory?
It will be ready, Dad.
Kab?
On time. Relax.
Contractor hire kiya nahi? Relax. Cement se
We don't need all that, Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So are we trying some magic trick?
Our factory will be made in the Everest factory. They do everything, Dad. Structural design, manufacturing, even installation of pre-engineered buildings. So, relax.
So factory building is done. When are we getting the machines?
Dad.
Okay.
Everest pre-engineered buildings. Now you can relax.
The joy doubles when you can relive a moment. Presenting Honor 8 with flatback dual camera. Honor, powered by Huawei.
Megha Engineering and Infrastructure Limited. MEIL. Partnering in the nation's progress.
कहाँ से अपना घर चलाएं, कहाँ से बच्चों को पढ़ाएं।
20 लाख दे चुके हैं और अब तक कुछ भी नहीं मिला।
मेरी किडनी सेल तक करने को बोलते हैं।
Every voice will be heard and every story will be told. On the Urban Debate, only on Magic Bricks Now.
What's the news on the factory?
It will be ready, Dad.
Kab?
On time. Relax.
Contractor hire kiya nahi? Relax. Cement se
We don't need all that, Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So are we trying some magic trick?
Our factory will be made in the Everest factory. They do everything, Dad. Structural design, manufacturing, even installation of pre-engineered buildings. So, relax.
So factory building is done. When are we getting the machines?
Dad.
Okay.
Everest pre-engineered buildings. Now you can relax.
So then, to get the ceremony on the road, let me invite to the spotlight our esteemed presentation panel. To preside over the entire duration of the ceremony, I request our guest of honor, Shri Mansukh L. Mandavia, Honorable Minister of State for Road, Transport and Highways, Shipping and Chemicals and Fertilizers, Government of India, and Mr. Kaushal Sampath, President and Managing Director, India, Dun & Bradstreet, to come on stage. The actual conferring of awards will be fulfilled by different dignitaries, and so, to present the first set of trophies, please welcome Mr. Manish Sanghi, Managing Director, Everest Industries Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move on to our first set of awards, which are the Project Awards, riding out straight into the fast lane, the first of tonight's Project Awards is in the category Roads and Highways. The award goes to Larsen & Toubro Limited for the four-laning of the Biawar-Pali Pintwara section of NH14. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Rajan Malhotra. It's power that hearts attention next. The winner is Reliance Infrastructure Limited and the project in question, the 6x660 megawatt Sasan Ultra Megawatt Power Project. Moving on to our next category, the winners in the category Water Supply and Sanitation. It's Larsen & Toubro Limited, a second trophy already, and the night is still so young. Renewable energy is going under the scanner next, and it's a third trophy on the night for Larsen & Toubro Limited. This one for their 125 megawatt concentrated solar thermal power project. It's time to make another special mention. Roads and Highways was the category that got us all started at the top of the awards. In that same space, the special mention must be made of Sadbhav Engineering Limited's four-laning of the Gomati Choraha, Udaipur section of NH8. We are rolling out the special mentions right now, well, at least after Roads and Highways sliding straight into power. This one is for KEC International Limited's cross-border interconnection. The renewable energy category is also getting its special mention next. And special it is indeed for Tata Power Solar Systems Limited for having put into operation the 12 megawatt solar rooftop project for RSSB Educational and Environmental Society. Congratulations to all the winners this far, and thank you, Mr. Manish Sanghi, for doing the honors. To take his place in the presentation party, I call on Mr. Ravi Reddy, Director Technical Mega Engineering and Infrastructure Limited. Okay, amongst our many categories, we also have a few special mentions. The first of which is within the sector, water supply and sanitation. Please give it up for VA Tech Wabag Limited. The next project category coming into the radar is irrigation. The winner is Gannon Dunkerley and Company Limited. The winning project, Kutch Branch Canal Package 5. It's the project awards in session here at the Dun & Bradstreet Everest Industries Limited Infra Awards 2016. We are up to our 10th and penultimate category in this segment, and it reads thus: Implementation Excellence, Industrial Projects, Buildings. It was all for the excellence that went into the manufacturing unit for MRF tires that wins Pennar Engineered Building Systems Limited this big one. Moving on to our next category, Implementation Excellence, Industrial Projects, which remains the flavor of the moment. The installation of the reverse osmosis plant at Gujarat Refinery wins Indian Oil Corporation Limited all the plaudits. That completes the Project Awards segment of the Dun & Bradstreet Everest Industries Limited Infra Awards 2016.
You are on top of the world with Times Network. And you're watching ET Now.
8 नवंबर 2016 की रात्रि को 12 बजे से 500 रुपए और 1000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे.
What we as banks are trying to do is to work to see how do we reduce the disruption that's caused in a short period.
I would not use the word panic, but I think the adjustment is going to be difficult within the short run, and we have to face it.
I would say that this step that has been taken by the government should actually lead to much lower interest rate.
Hopefully not this quarter, but over next 6-7 quarters, there will be an uptick in improvement in fiscal debt to GDP ratio.
It's a big move on the social front, the way we live, the way we think of money and business. I think it has changed dramatically.
Eventually interest rate will come down and it will benefit banks, it will benefit corporate India.
What's the news on the factory?
It will be ready, Dad.
Kab?
On time. Relax.
Contractor hire kiya nahi? Relax. Cement area.
We don't need all that, Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So are we trying some magic trick?
Our factory will be made in the Everest factory. They do everything, Dad. Structural design, manufacturing, even installation of pre-engineered buildings. So, relax.
So factory building is done. When are we getting the machines?
Dad.
Okay.
Everest pre-engineered buildings. Now you can relax.
Now that brings me pleasure.
Moviegasm. Monday to Friday night at 9. Only on Movies Now 2.
IMTMA National Productivity Summit 2016. Championing the cause of enhancing competitiveness in the Indian manufacturing industries. Listen to the inspiring keynote presentation by renowned industry leaders.
I believe IMTMA has always excelled in providing the platform for people who are fired by similar ideas to come together to define the future for productivity.
Plant visit to the leading manufacturing companies. IMTMA Productivity Championship Award sponsored by Ace Micromatic Group. Join us at the IMTMA National Productivity Summit 2016 from 24th to 26th November 2016 at the BIEC Conference Center in Bengaluru. An event you cannot miss.
What's the news on the factory?
It will be ready, Dad.
Kab?
On time. Relax.
Contractor hire kiya nahi? Relax. Cement area.
We don't need all that, Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So are we trying some magic trick?
Our factory will be made in the Everest factory. They do everything, Dad. Structural design, manufacturing, even installation of pre-engineered buildings. So, relax.
So factory building is done. When are we getting the machines?
Dad.
Okay.
Everest pre-engineered buildings. Now you can relax.
The second session of tonight's felicitation ceremony are the company awards. These honor infrastructure companies who over the past year displayed exemplary financial and operational performance. Unlike the project awards, the winner here are decided through Dun & Bradstreet's internal proprietary model comprising various financial parameters. And we are ready to roll out with the first, construction and infrastructure development, roads and highways. The winner is IL&FS Transportation Networks Limited. Just to put things into perspective, the first 4 company excellence awards are in the construction and infrastructure development space. So from roads and highways, we now move to railways. You could say from the fast lane to the fast track. The award goes to Ircon International Limited. Moving on to our next category, construction and infrastructure development again, but this time subcategorized by power. It is none other than Kalpatru Power Transmission Limited all the way. Of course, within construction and infrastructure development, some companies are so diversified. We can do justice to their offerings only by including an overall subcategory. After picking up 3 trophies in the project segment, Larsen & Toubro Limited are truly making this a night of their own. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for our leaving presenter, Mr. Manish Sanghi, and keep the applause Going on for Mr. Ravi Reddy, who returns to the dais once again. Construction and infrastructure development occupied the mind space as a theme over the first 4 categories of the company awards. In similar vein, power will be the theme for the next 4. We will begin with power generation. The award goes to NTPC Limited. Power generation remains the flavor of the moment, but we are adding the caveat, or more accurately, the subcategory, renewable energy. To it, NHPC Limited finished ahead of the competition. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone through power generation, and logic tells us that power transmission must follow. It does indeed, and much to the jubilation of Power Grid Corporation of India Limited, who takes home the honors in this category. Let me thank Mr. Ravi Reddy for assisting with those 4 presentations, which leaves us with just the final 3 on the night. I'll call on Mr. Ravi Chawla, Managing Director, Gulf Oil Lubricants India Limited, to help see the awards ceremony through. After the 2 series of construction and infrastructure development and power, each of which comprised 4 categories, we arrive at the standalone categories. First up, Telecom Infrastructure Development. The winner is Bharti Infratel Limited. Our next port of call is, well, ports. It was all smooth sailing for Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited. And then there was one. After a long and eventful night, we are down to the last of the 22 awards. This one honors the Best Infrastructure Finance Company, and that title now officially belongs to Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. I'd like to call upon on our stage Mr. Jayesh Bahadur, who is head for Economic Analysis Group Sales and Marketing Solutions, Dun & Bradstreet, India, to present the word of thanks. Thank you.
This remarkable evening has allowed us to recognize the pivotal role that the Indian infrastructure sector is playing in our country's economic development. I also take the opportunity to extend our heartiest congratulations to the award winners of today's Infra Awards, and would like to thank the award winners for taking time out to grace today's event. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Alaric Ferns, and on behalf of the Economic Times and the Aditya Birla Group, it's a privilege to bid you all a very warm welcome, all of us, our esteemed guests, and of course all the students participating this year. The Economic Times Young Leaders B School edition, presented by the Aditya Birla Group,